Hey, hey, Blue Table fans! Oh, happy Halloween! Said the guy with no costume and no plan. So, I'm going to talk, I got my timer going, so I set my tomato timer for 20 minutes, and I'm like, make videos. So I made my shark video, which you can see, and I got 10 minutes. I'm just going to talk about whatever I'm going to talk about, and I have no idea what that is. So it's Halloween, October 31st, and you really do live twice through your kids. I have 5 kids, as you may know. I have 4 from my first marriage that are ages 8 through 18, and I have a baby, and I take care of my baby during the day and do all my blue table painting stuff. So that's amazing. And at first I was I was a little resistant to the concept, but now I love it. And it's an experience I haven't had yet, taking care of a very young child full-time. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome because that little girl, she loves me. And let's see. Oh, so Halloween. So my kids are getting dressed up. They're going to be here in about, oh, this watch is off. I'm looking at a watch that doesn't go. Let's see. Oh, and this watch is no longer functional. That's too bad. It's one of my favorite ones. Yep. All right, so anyway, and into the garbage it goes. And so in about an hour, my kids are going to be here, and we're going to our hometown. Yeah, maybe like 25 minutes. Jeez. And we're going to do trick-or-treating in our old neighborhood, because our neighborhood in Spanish Fork was awesome. They, like, you go there and they have like whole setups. Like, you don't just go trick-or-treat, you stay for a while and eat some drink some hot cocoa. They've got like movies going. It's really neat. It's really spectacular. And so hopefully it'll be as great this year as it was last year. My kids love it. It's kind of our thing that we do now. And but my 2 oldest kids are 16 and 18. Is that too old to trick-or-treat? I don't think so. I think you just keep going until you don't feel like it. I think the thing isn't the age. I think it's the costume. That if you just dress up, I wouldn't care how old you were. You put some effort into it, you're having a good time, awesome. Like if I had a 60-year-old couple, ding dong, trick or treat, I'd be like, awesome, you guys are great. You keep going. You just enjoy yourself. I was thinking the other day, I'm like, well, what happened? Because when you're a kid, you're just having fun. Where is that magic moment where it kind of ticks over into like, hey, now I'm worried about stuff all the time? You know? When is that? Of course, now I'm getting back to that. It's like, it's really relaxed. And I am having a good time in life. It's good. It's really good. And of course, my profession, blue table painting, it's great. Project count is 42. It's very manageable and got new projects coming in. It's making me happy. It's not quite where I want it to be. I want to get down to like a 2-week turnaround where it's like nice and white hot turnaround. Of course, I've talked about this. I don't want to beat a dead horse. And yeah. Oh, so we had some Cthulhu Wars. It's a board game. One of the more successful. Well, you heard me talk with Veronica about it. More successful Kickstarters that have been out there, but the models. Oh, they're great. You can pick up the box kits, which have 15, did I say all this before? They have 15 to 20 figures, and they cost between $60 and $100 typically. So if you do the math, that's about between $4.50 and $7 a figure. And some of them are like these really huge things, and they're already put together. You just got to clean the mold lines, fill in the gaps, maybe do some base work, but of course the base is already textured, so they're like these cobblestone things or stonework things. And they're really good, but you got to watch your primer because they are made out of that board game plastic. And there's certain primers that work for them. In a pinch, here's something that works. You can take sealer like Tester's dull coat. You can put that on first, and then you can put on some other layers, or you can just hand prime them, mix in some like liquid sealer and like black paint, just hand prime them, guys. They need to be washed. I would any board game I would wash the figures, because they're not made for like war games. They're just stamped out of, you know, Chinese factory plastic. But I gotta tell you, Cthulhu Wars, man, those figures are great and like relatively inexpensive. Like the great old ones, which are about the size of my fist, you know, they're pretty chunky. Grab them. They, you know, if that was a Games Workshop figure, you'd pay like 50, 60, 80 bucks for that figure. And with these kits, that's how much you pay for the whole set of like 15 figures. Now, granted, the little grunt guys like the acolytes aren't, you know, they're nothing to write home about, but they're decent. And so anyway, I'm looking at everything through the lens of the ultimate fantasy role-playing thing that I'm doing. Where I'm like, ooh, that's a cool figure. In you go, into the mix you go. And I saw a video on Facebook, because I'm like, I might be the only person to like really go, you know, all out on this. It's like, no, there's other guys that are doing some pretty amazing sets. So I saw a thing on Facebook where a guy was, he had like 20,000 figures in his collection, but I'm like, a lot of them were pre-paints, and they were a little crusty. And so I'm not belittling what other people are doing. I'm looking at what's been done and thinking, hey, can I do something like just go up to whatever the next level is with it? And I think I can. I think I've got, you know, I think the quality of figures is really going to be right there. And of course, you could just keep going up and up from there. Real excited about that. Geez, what else? Heard back from Order of the Amber Die, and they apparently are doing a marathon to run Ruins of Aslant, which is the latest adventure path. And yeah, so there's that. Oh, I'm down to 3 minutes. And by the way, I can fill this time, guys. It's not a problem. Talk for 10 minutes straight, Sean. Awesome, I could do it. I could even do the same thing up in front of like 2,000 people. Wouldn't bother. Like the more people there are, the more I'm like, yes. Bring it on! I love it. Fantastic. Maybe I missed my calling. Wow, that light is really coming off in my head. Let me just turn a little bit. There we go. Nope, that is worse. I've been watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine on Hulu, and I'm like, oh, come on, guys. How many subscriptions do I have to have? You know, I don't want to have more than 2. Come on, Disney and CBS. Don't make me subscribe to you too. You know, let's just, I'm calling on the people within the sound of my voice. People, unite. Just get Netflix. Maybe one more. Netflix plus 1. That's what you're allowed. That's what you can have. Don't have a zillion subscriptions. Nothing on there is that good. Although Hulu's got some good stuff. They have improved since I last was by. Yep, it's still going. Just checking my timer. Yeah. So kids took the little girl to like a nursing home Halloween where you just kind of go door to door, and she was dressed as a pumpkin, and that was like really super cute, but she was not into it. She was just, you know, not engaging. And that's okay, you know, that's babies for you. There's this guy on stilts with like a skull mask, and boy, she didn't like that business. She did not like that guy. So anyway, all right, so that's Halloween, and let's see, what else? Got my D&D thing. My D&D group is going great. Oh, that's the other news. I took my boys out. They're back into Magic, which is, oh man, they want resources for Magic. And, there's time. All right, well, let me just finish the thought. Wind it up. Go 5 minutes. By the way, this thing you will mow down your day with this timer idea. It's amazing. 20 minutes, 5 minutes, and take those 5 minute breaks. Don't just be like wind it up to 20 and keep doing what you're doing. Take 5 minutes to just twiddle your thumbs or look at something, or go out on the front porch and look around. You know, it will really, you'll be razor sharp. You will know it. So anyway, we're out playing Magic, and I go ahead and I pick up the Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition Player's Handbook. And I'm like, okay, first off, 4th edition was awful. And I spent so much on 4th edition books. I think I had like 30 or 40 of them at some point in time. All hardback, and it was a quality production, but they butchered the game. They turned it into something else. They should have called it something else. And I don't blame them for doing it. I think it's behind the scenes. I bet there was a lot of discussion. Obviously, you don't throw away the IP of Dungeons and Dragons. But I really, when 5th Ed came out, I'm like, all right, Wizards of the Coast, I know what you're doing here. You're just doing whatever old thing. And I said, you know, there's not that many books out for it. And I kind of thumbed through it and was like, well, whatever. But now that I've taken a closer look, I'm like, oh, this is like really awesome. And they really did get back to the roots. They got to the roots of the game as a storytelling game, the game that I love. And I'm just like, oh my, I might have to do this for my thing. So with Ultimate Fantasy Role-Playing, which by the way is coming up by the end of this year, I'll have something announced and in concrete for it. Is that how you say it? Concrete? Concrete? Huh. So, yeah, I'm probably going to have an option. I'll have events that are set and open. So on this date, I'm running a session. There's 6 chairs. And, you know, just individuals can buy a ticket. And, you know, we'll have a group of people coming where maybe 3 of them know each other and then 3 just came from different things. We'll run it. I definitely am going to have an assistant DM. And then there will be someone, it'll be like a little mini Valhalla. And then someone, of course, doing the food. And I think, you know, as I'm sort of putting it together in my mind, I'm like, well, you could do 10 people, have 2 different adventures running concurrently that sort of like intertwine somehow, and then run a slightly larger thing. To me, 2 assistant DMs, and then of course the 10 actual players there. That'd be amazing. And I don't know, I probably mentioned this, but I have found the place. I'm working on formalizing how it will work to actually go up there and have more of a permanent, regular situation rather than just going and finding a rental. And that, of course, has its, you know, ups and downs. Let's see here. And then, as an open item, because I'll have everything ready, I'll have the infrastructure for this, of the miniatures, the terrain, and that's not easy to put together for the level that I'm doing it at. And I'll have it where you can buy a mega ticket for 6 people or 8 people, and once you pay for that, they all go in on it. So in a way, there's no Kickstarter to like formulate all of the money together. It's a group. They do it themselves, put it all together, and then come to me and say, listen, run this for our group. And you're in good hands. I've done a ton of these things. I have all the contacts needed to make it happen. I have all the resources needed to make it happen. And I'm really excited. And this is the thing, this is something I have to do, something I want to do. Like, when I was like, look inside your soul, Sean. What do you want? I'm like, I want to be a dungeon master. I want to play these games. Painting the miniatures is great. I just get lost and I have my little station there. I put on Netflix and I'm just like painting. It's really amazing. Well, guys, I hope you got some ideas. I hope you got some inspiration. I hope I entertained you. I am at 15 minutes now. What do you know about that? And yeah, I want to thank you guys for tuning in and tell you, especially if you've ever been a client, tell you how much I appreciate the business. Oh, and still, of course, doing armies, commissions. Our turnaround time is a zillion times better now. And, you know, victim of success. You can have too many orders. Yeah, my crew is outstanding now. I was looking at them the other day. I was just like, looking at the roster. I was like, wow, this is a good crew. And most of them have been around for a while. So it's working out. All right, thanks for tuning in.